What's up, folks? Gabe Montgomery here, Tenor Smarty YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about the BFLs, how to enter them, what to expect, and some things to look for. The BFLs were originally the Red Man series. This was a series set up for the working man, a guy that couldn't take off extended days on vacation, didn't have a lot of money in his pocket. They were set up on Saturdays, because typically guys work Monday through Friday. And it was for the guy that wanted to kind of fish a next level of competition. These are a little bit bigger tournaments, a little bit bigger entry fee. You're fishing for a little more money. In 2019, FLW was bought by Major League Fishing. They kept pretty much everything the same except for the entry fees. The last few years of the FLW, the entry fees kept going up, and I actually stepped out of them for a year or two because they just kept going up. When MLF bought them, they lowered the entry fees back to the way they were several years prior. BFLs consist of 24 divisions and 6 regionals. You have 5 tournaments in each one of those divisions. There's 4 regular tournaments, which are one-day tournaments, and there is 1 super day tournament, which is a 2-day tournament. The top 20% from day 1 in the super tournament qualify to fish day 2. The ultimate goal of the BFLs is to make the All-American. That's the carrot. How do you make the All-American? You have to be the top 45 in points in your division or win a tournament. If you win a tournament and you pay for all 5 tournaments and fish at least 2 of those, you're automatically qualified for the regional. The regionals are a 3-day tournament. Everybody fishes 2 days. In the top 12 after day 2, they fish that 3rd day. The top 6 qualify for the All-American. There's another way to make the All-American. It's through the wild card. Wild card is it's a mash of all the people that didn't qualify for the regionals. So as long as you paid for 5 tournaments and you fish 2 of those tournaments and you do not make the regionals, you can fish the wild card. The lake chosen for the wild card is kind of a mystery. They don't really announce it until after all the super tournaments have been fished. But it's set up the same way as the All-American. 2-day tournament, 3-day tournament. The top 12 fish day 3, and then the top 6 from that go and fish the All-American. The All-American is like the Super Bowl of the BFLs. They roll out the red carpet. Unfortunately, I have yet to make it. Someday I hope to, but I've heard it's a really good time. They pay for a lot of your meals. They pay for some of your gas. And they put you up in a hotel. It's a pretty sweet deal. So it's what we're all trying to make, fishing the BFLs. Let's talk about the point system. So the regular season tournaments are based off 250 points. So if you win, you get 250 points. If you finish in second, you get 249 and on down. The super tournaments are 350 points for first place, 249 for second, and on down. The super tournaments are very important. They're super important. Many times a guy will be sitting really good at the end of the season. Say somebody's sitting in like 30th place and they have a bad super tournament. Well, they'll fall to 50th and miss the regional because the super tournament is weighted. There's an extra 100 points involved. Conversely, this has happened to me before. Been kind of struggling, been sitting in like 65th place, have a really good super tournament. Boom, next thing you know, you're in 35th place and you make the regionals. So that super tournament is super important. What's it cost to fish a BFL? For a boater, it's $200 for the 1-day tournaments and $300 for the 2-day super tournament. On the co-angler side, it's $100 for a 1-day tournament and it's $150 for the super tournament. There's a $75 annual membership fee. You get like a magazine. Sometimes you get a little tackle pack, but $75 annual membership, and you can fish any tournament in any division with that annual membership. The payout on the BFLs is a 20% payout. The top 20% of the tournament get a check. On the super tournament, on day 1, the top 20%, can't remember if I said this or not, but the top 20% fish that day 2. And if you fish day 2, you're gonna get a check because you made the top 20%. There's also an Angler of the Year incentive. On the boater side, if you're an Angler of the Year, you win your points in that division, you get $1,000. On the co-angler side, if you're the points winner in that division, you get $500. That's nice. It's really nice. There's no off limits or practice period in the regular season BFLs. Now in the regionals, there is an off limits. You'll just have to look at that regional and see what the off limit periods are. If you decided to fish a BFL, I would try to find a link. A link is a boater and a co-angler that are going to fish the same tournament, and they link up. The way that works is you will sign up for a tournament. Actually, the best way to do it is to have a buddy that's going to fish. If you're a co-angler, have a buddy that's going to fish on a boater side. Or if you're looking for a link, there's a Facebook page. It is the BFL Toyota Series Link Finder, I do believe. You can search it. It's pretty easy to find. But a link guarantees that you're going to fish that tournament. If you're a co-angler and you sign up for the tournament and there's 150 boats in the tournament and you're the 170th co-angler to sign up, you're going to be number 20 on that waiting list. You'll get put on a waiting list. And as boaters sign up, it kind of works down the list. So there's no guarantee if you don't have a link that you're going to actually fish that tournament. That's why I say the best way to do it is to find a link. So if you find a link, call the home office. I recommend actually phoning MLF, doing it over the phone versus entering online. There's been some problems with the online stuff. They may have fixed it, I don't know, but it's kind of been a pain in the butt. So I just recommend calling. Call and talk to the ladies over there at MLF and they can get you signed up. But let them know that you got a link. Tell them the name, give them the membership number, and then tell your buddy to call and do the same thing, and they'll link you guys up. That way you guys are guaranteed to fish the tournament. You don't have to sit around and wait on that waiting list. If you do have a link, you need to register the Tuesday before the week of the tournament. If you wait till after that, there's no linking. You'll just have to sign up and you're at the mercy of the waiting list. As far as what division to fish, I kind of recommend fishing something that's close to home. Something you don't have to travel far. I've fished 3 different divisions. I've got the Illini division. Most of those lakes are an hour and 15 to 3 hours away from my home. I've also got the LBL division. It's about 2 to 2.5 hours. And I got the Ozark division, which is 4 to 5 hours depending on the lake. Lake of the Ozarks is about 4, Table Rock is about 5. But those are all fairly close. As a co-angler, I've done it a couple different ways. If I can get off work, I definitely want to go down there and practice for a couple days. Even though you may not fish the same waters that you practice in as a co-angler, your boater might fish somewhere else. It's nice to get down there and look at the watercolor. You get water temperature. You kind of get a feel of the fish, what baits are working, what are not, the mood of the fish, that kind of stuff. It definitely pays off to get down there a couple days early. But if you can't, if you're close, there's 2 ways to do it. I've driven down the night before, just got a hotel, stayed the night, got up in the morning, fished the tournament. And I've actually driven down in the morning, just leave the house super early, get there an hour before, take off, meet my boater, jump in. So if you've got a division that's close, you can do that. But if you're wanting to fish a lake that you've never fished, that you don't know anything about, there's also that option. It may be a little bit further drive, but it's kind of fun to get out there and explore new water. As a co-angler, it's kind of a learning experience. Yeah, you go in there, you want to cash a check, you want to do good, and you will. But you're also going in there to learn. You're getting in a boat with somebody that knows the lake. Hopefully, you can see how he attacks the lake. You're going to learn new areas of the lake to fish. You're going to learn how to navigate, which is very important. Learn how to navigate the lake. It's an invaluable experience at a pretty low cost, but don't expect to win every tournament. There's going to be times when you're going to be frustrated because you don't have control of the boat. Maybe in practice you found fish doing one thing and your boater is doing something different. You got to learn how to adjust. You got to really fish the situation. You got to fish the moment. I know it's kind of cliche, but it is true out of the back of the boat. You're going to be put in situations that are less than desirable, and you have to figure out how to catch fish. One thing I've learned as a co-angler in the BFLs is how important it is to weigh at least one fish. If you weigh at least one fish in a tournament in most divisions, you're going to make the regional, because it's a tough game out of the back of the boat. So that's always your minimum goal, is to catch at least one fish and build from there. That one fish will get you to the regionals. Use it as a learning experience. Have fun. You're in a boat for 8 hours, you're fishing. Do your best to have a good time, because that's a big part of it, is the chemistry in the boat. if the boater's having a good time, if the co-angler's having a good time, you guys are going to fish better. And, you know, it's just good juju. It's good karma. You guys are going to catch more fish. And if not, you're at least going to have a good day. You're going to meet somebody that can potentially be a lifelong friend. I've got a bunch of friends that I've met through the BFL, and that's part of the fun of it, is just meeting new people and hanging out with a guy for a day or a girl for a day, whatever. It's you're not working and you're doing something that you're passionate about. So go out there, have fun, keep your head down, do your best. The day before the tournament, there will be a tournament meeting. It's usually at 6:30. Now lately it's been like a Zoom meeting. Several years ago, pre-COVID, it was a meeting on site where everybody would be down there at the boat ramp, the launch site, and they would have the MLF trailer down there. They would have an MC up there. He would go over the rules, regulations, and you would get your drawings. Last couple years, it's been a Zoom call. So you'll get a text from MLF, and it's a Zoom format. Everybody click on the Zoom link, and the tournament director will be on there going over the rules and stuff. So after the meeting, you'll get a text from MLF, and it'll notify you of your draw for the day. You get your draw, you get your boater, get your co-angler's information. You know, they'll have their phone number on there, their name, and where they're from. And you make that phone call. Typically, the co-angler calls the boater, but I've seen it happen both ways. So as a co-angler, call your boater, find out where you want to meet at in the morning and what time. You know, you can ask them, hey, what do I expect? Are we fishing deep? Are we fishing shallow? I always ask, are we making a long run? Because I like to know if we're making a really long run, I might put an extra layer on, or I might take my rain gear. You know, some people have goggles, maybe a buff or something. You just kind of need to know that. Some guys are real open with information. Some guys are kind of tight-lipped. But most guys will give you a general idea of what you're going to be doing. Are you fishing out deep, fishing out shallow? You going to be fishing tight to the bank? Or are we fishing offshore? That kind of stuff. And just get a feel of how your day's going. That way you can pack accordingly. A couple things as a co-angler: gas money. You always want to offer your boater gas money. You know, it just depends. Somewhere between 20 and 50 or 60 bucks. You know, a lot of it has to do with how long of a run you made. The boater's been out there fishing for several days. You know, he signed up for this tournament. He's got fuel costs, he's got oil costs, he's got insurance, maintenance, that kind of stuff. So it's common courtesy to pay your boater for gas. Always bring your life vest. You know, you need your life vest for sure. It's mandatory. If you like a seat in the back of the boat, let your boater know. I typically don't like a seat, so I always tell my boater, hey, do you mind taking the seat out? But if you need a seat, let him know. Also, as a boater, one thing that I really appreciate is to have that rear storage compartment open. So the passenger side behind you, if you've got that open and cleaned out, the co-angler can put his tackle bag and that kind of stuff in there. It keeps the floor clean. So that's one thing that I always appreciate when a boater has that back storage compartment cleared out for me. Also, as a boater, carry an extra life vest in case your co-angler forgets to bring his. I've seen it happen before. You know, you guys can't fish the tournament if he doesn't have it. A couple of the rules in the BFLs: there is a late penalty. So if you are late, you get deducted 1 pound per minute that you are late. And after 15 minutes, if you're 15 minutes late, you get disqualified. So it doesn't matter how much weight you got. It does not count after 15 minutes. I was fishing a tournament on Kentucky Lake years ago, and we'd been struggling. You know, we didn't have any keepers in the boat. We had about an hour and a half left to go in the tournament, and we had about a 35-40 mile run. We pulled up in this one area, and within like 20 minutes I had 4 keepers. My boater had 2, and we needed to go. You know, I was telling him, we gotta go. Well, he kept fishing. He ended up getting 4 keepers in the boat. We made that run. We got back late. We were 8 minutes late. I had a little over 8 pounds, and we weighed the fish in, but you know, they take that penalty off after you've already weighed in. And so I ended up with less than a pound. If I would have made it on time, I would have ended up in like 19th place. So I would have got a check. So pay attention to the time. 1 minute, 1 pound, and you want to be there on time. And so they have these little key fobs. It's a little key fob with your boat number. In the morning, you'll get that. And at the end of the day, it's got GPS tracking signal in it. And at the end of the day, you turn that in. That's how they know if you've made it on time. They keep track of that stuff. They're not going to let it slide. The other thing is the dead fish penalty. There's 4-ounce dead fish penalty, so that's key too. You need to take care of your fish. It's very important. That's all I got for you guys. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content, and please subscribe to the channel. That's just a way of saying, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section. And if you've got anything to add, anything that I've left out, maybe I misspoke on something, don't hesitate to correct me. The thing about the comment section is a lot of people read it, so it's great to leave questions and great to leave the comments. That way everybody as a group can get down there and kind of check all that stuff out, and it's just a good learning experience. So good luck in the BFLs if you decide to fish them. Hope I covered basically everything, and that's all I got for you. Until next time.